And good morning. I wish I could make something up. I'm your friend Scotty Ray. It's cold. Right now we have a wind chill of 13 and we're sitting at 22 degrees. Now the high is only going to get 45 at best today. You factor in just a little bit of wind and it makes it, it's miserable like yesterday. Odie, me and you hadn't had a chance to speak, but I walked down the edge of Highway 19 from a wreck and it was all I could do to get back to my truck. Woof! It was rough, that wind. If you bared it, congratulations. And I know there's a lot of people that have to work today out in this weather. Y'all be careful, dress warm. You will need your jacket all day today. This is not one of those. And again, this Mississippi, by the weekend, we'll be back to 77 degree weather. We'll give you the stats here in just a moment when we get into your forecast. Some prayers. We do have a home fire going now. SB Hedgepeth Road. Firefighters are on the scene now battling this. We'll have more details on that coming up as well. Y'all be careful. We'll be right back as we do have an accident at the I-59 split. This is coming into Meridian. Northbound, we have a Meridian police officer that has struck a deer. Car is tore up. It's out of the roadway. It's on the side of the road, but be careful entering Meridian, I-59 northbound where it splits with 20 there. Use caution in those areas. Let's go to Collinsville now and get a good word of the day.
Well, the Advent season continues, that ancient tradition of preparing our hearts to celebrate Christ's birth. We now move into the third week, whose theme is joy. And that'll be our focus all week long here at Change Begins in You. Isaiah 35, it provides this vivid description of the joy that is experienced by God's redeemed people. We read in verses 1 and 2. The wilderness and the dry land shall be glad. The desert shall rejoice and blossom like the crocus. It shall blossom abundantly and rejoice with joy and singing. The glory of Lebanon shall be given to it, the majesty of Carmel and Sharon. They shall see the glory of the Lord, the majesty of our God. And then verse 10 says, and the ransom of the Lord shall return and come to Zion with singing. Everlasting joy shall be upon their heads. They shall obtain gladness and joy, and sorrow and sighing shall flee away. Man, what a vivid picture of transformation. Barren places bursting into bloom and the wilderness singing. This is not temporary happiness. It's everlasting joy, resting secure like a crown on the redeemed. Now notice who brings the joy. It comes as God's people see the glory of the Lord. Right? True joy flows from encountering God's presence. And this is what we celebrate all Christmas long, right? God breaking into our wilderness through Jesus Christ, the Messiah, coming to transform our spiritual deserts into gardens, replacing sorrow and sighing with gladness. His arrival brings into being this everlasting joy that Isaiah prophesied. So this third week of Advent, remember, true joy isn't found in perfect circumstances, but in God's redeeming presence. The Messiah who came as a baby continues bringing that transformation and everlasting joy to all who encounter Him. So open your hearts and let His joy crown your life. May you be blessed this Advent. Change begins in you.
The Change Begins in You is brought to you in part by Piggly Wiggly of Collinsville, Patrick Allen Companies, Mitchell Tire and Wrecker in Collinsville, and Mowdy Cabinetry. And welcome back. You just can't help but like a preacher that wears flannel like us, right? He is one of us, Brother Ben. If you get a chance, go by and visit them one Sunday. Real nice folks there at Collinsville First Baptist. Matter of fact, it's the only Baptist church you'll find there. I tease them about that all the time. Good morning. As we said, it's chilly, 22, wind chill factor of 13 as we all gather around the fireplace this morning. And that could have played a factor into that home that caught fire earlier. A spark or something come out of the fireplace, possibly. If you've got a fireplace, be careful, be careful. Those things pop out. Those screens are the best to have in front of it. Easy to forget, but make sure to have that. In another state, there was a home that caught fire that had gas logs in it. I don't think the gas logs done it, but tough for the firemen in there. Y'all be careful, careful. As we start our headlines this morning, nothing like a good scheme thinking you're going to get away with it. Is it not? Arizona is where we head for our first story of the morning. And as usual, it's a fraud that goes on. They orchestrated it. Medicare, $1.2 billion this couple stole. That's your money they took. And of course they went out and done lavish things with it. They'll turn in those false claims. They'll be heading to jail before long. And they do deserve that, without a doubt there. Missouri, as we put in the headlines there, the state troopers pulled over a car, and it was just numerous things that caused it. If you're going to be a criminal, what's the first thing you do, Odie? Make sure your tag is in date.
My face,
Driving erratically doesn't help. And then also having a child not in the seatbelt doesn't help your case either. It was a lady transporting this stuff right outside of Missouri there. 221 pounds of marijuana they got. And every time we do a story on marijuana, people will pipe up, well, it's legal now. That is for the medical side. This is, and it's just like prohibition. If the United States government did not get their tax dollars on this, it's illegal. That's what's going on here. They got it. Dangerous stuff regardless.
Well, even with it being medically legal here, you still can't have but like an ounce on you.
Oh, yeah, it's very little that you can have.
Something pounds.
Yeah, 221 pounds. We'll send you to jail. I don't know what the street value of that is, but it's a lot. Well, it's a lot of it around here, let me tell you, because I smell it half the time. Ain't no way all that's legal, Odie. I can smell it coming from 8th Street now.
But your glaucoma got better.
You can see a lot better. You sure can. I've never played pickleball. I've watched it. I've seen our fire chief play it. But sometimes it's not best to play it on top of a high-rise. You know how they have the netting? What was this man thinking? The ball went off the edge and the netting caught it. He jumped onto the netting to get his ball. The netting gave way. You want to guess how that ended?
Even Walmart sells pickleball balls.
I mean, just get another one. It was in Malaysia. You know, they're not always but still, if you're on top of a high-rise building, don't chase something off the edge. It ain't worth it. He found out the hard way there. Do you remember the name Steve Friend? Let me see if I can jar your memory. The New York Times done a story on this. This is the guy that was considered the whistleblower for the January 6th investigation. He was fired and then he was rehired. This time, he made a threat against Kash Patel. He's the guy that's head of the FBI now. And if you go back and listen, it was rough what he said of how he would orchestrate to take someone out. Not exactly somebody you want as a neighbor either. Have thoughts like that. We go to Britain for this story. And it's a mess over there. They've been overrun by people from out of country, and they no longer have the country's falling apart. Let me say it that way. Being run by people that shouldn't be in charge. But the police, an 86-year-old was fined for spitting. Now, why did he spit? He was walking along and a leaf flew in his mouth. The wind blew it in his mouth and he spit it out. He was ticketed for doing that. It's a little overstep there. We won't even go into what... by now you've heard Rob Reiner and his wife were killed. They were found last night. They were both stabbed in their home. Now this makes the second set of someone killed in Hollywood area. The first one, as we would learn, their child did it. Now, People magazine originally put out a story last night that Rob Reiner's son was responsible for this. Now there's other people backing up saying, no, that may not be the case. We're not 100% sure, but People magazine did put that out originally. At this point, we don't know. They're still interviewing everybody, but they were found deceased inside their home with stab wounds. Most likely, as you well know, by someone they know, or it'd have to be an intruder that was very, very slick to get into that neighborhood. Usually it's by someone you know in a case like this. It's awful. And again, his political view is so different than mine, but that's okay. We can all agree to disagree. We feel sympathy for this family. We pass along prayers to them. Big movie producer and actor for years. We feel for them. We really do. What else do we have this morning as we look at these headlines that are going on? Let's see here. Taylor Swift. And again, she's one of those that she may not think exactly the way I do, but boy, she sure does take care of her people. Have you heard the latest bonuses she handed out?
Yeah.
$197 million in bonuses that she's awarded to her crew that work for her. Now, she raked in, what was it, a couple billion?
Oh, yeah.
She made a lot, but she also she brought in $2 billion on this latest concert, but she also did take care of her people. They're still searching, and I'm not really sure we will ever know this. Technology is where we need it now. JonBenet Ramsey. Police still investigating this crime. You would think that DNA somewhere in that house would have revealed something, but they still have zilch. Dick Van Dyke, 100. Ain't that something? From Chitty Chitty Bang Bang to the Dick Van Dyke Show, celebrates 100th birthday. That's amazing. Wasn't it Betty White that made it within one day of her 100th birthday and passed away? What a milestone that is. Congratulations on that. And, you know, he's a pretty good guy. I've seen a lot of pictures of him wandering around the streets of L.A. and handing out money to somebody that he thought may need it. A 5, a 10, a 20. He didn't have to do that. That's nice. Let's see what else is happening. The United Flights airplane that took off, the engine failed. It sparked a grass fire. The engine blew out, caught a grass fire. They circled, landed. Everybody's okay. That was at Dulles International Airport. And you go, oh, I've heard that name before. That was used a lot, I think, in what was it? Die Hard? Wasn't that in one of those Dulles International?
Yeah, it was, yeah.
Maybe you remember all that. Oh, and I also saw over the weekend, we'll have to check with Greg on this to see if it's official, Odie, as they've made Die Hard a Christmas movie because it showed a Christmas tree in it. Rambo, if you remember, when he was in there amongst the police station, there was Christmas trees in it. So does that make that a Christmas movie also? First Blood?
Well, you got to remember, they were at a Christmas party.
Oh, throw it in the Christmas party.
That's where they were at. So, yeah.
A jury says that Johnson & Johnson, you know that, talcum powder, they owe $40 million to two cancer patients who use that talcum powder. My. That's I feel for those people. No Powerball winner. We are up to $1.1 billion that's going to be drawn for. When's the next drawing, Odie? Is it tonight or tomorrow night?
It might be tonight.
It could be tonight. So if you haven't bought one and you're wanting to win $1 billion, 1.1, get on that. Try it out. Let's see here. We always teach Greg about this. He is a big Hallmark film watcher. Connecticut, I didn't realize that's where they were filming most of these movies, and that's where they do that, in these little towns across Connecticut, and they're cashing in on it. People are flocking in for the holidays to have the, I guess you'd call it the Hallmark moment. Good luck to them. It's good for the economy, I'm sure. I saw this, Idaho. It was a U-Haul that went up in flames this weekend, and I had every thought in my head that this was probably someone causing terror, and they said it wasn't. It was someone moving their belongings, and it did have gas in the back, and they had a couple of propane bottles for their grills inside, and it went up in flames. Huh. JetBlue narrowly missed a collision with the Air Force near Venezuela. They were getting ready to take off, taxiing in. No one was hurt, but they've reported it all over that. The number one movie is still hanging there, Zootopia. I said it correctly this time.
See it, you got it.
Number one, it's grossed $1 billion worldwide so far. It must be a pretty good movie, I guess. And it looks as though it's a kid's show. Hadn't watched it, but it is raking in the cash as we look at that. Movie memorabilia. Do you buy any of that? I remember seeing online, I probably would have liked to have had this. I didn't know they had auctioned off. Remember Matt Dillon standing in the street, his gun? I think that went for like $50,000 a few years ago. I would like to have that, but I wouldn't pay $50,000. Any Star Wars fans out there? The original painting that they did for the movie poster, they put it up for auction. $3.9 million later, it has a new home. It's a lot. I guess at the time, especially when movies started, not a lot of people thought about things like that, of saving things of that nature, props and guns and things of all of that. Huh. Let's see here. Pulp Fiction. Did anybody watch that? That was a pretty good show. John Travolta. Big movie at the box office. Bruce Willis was also in it. Do you remember the cop who was the bad guy that would take people below?
Yeah.
He passed away this week, and his name was Peter Green. He was 60 years old. He has passed away. They have not told us how he died at this point. Pat Green. And there's also a country artist, or Texas country artist called that also. Wave on Wave, if y'all remember him. Two different people. This happened in Georgia, in Savannah. This is on American soil. And you often hear about this in foreign countries where people go up and they throw acid on someone. It happened in Savannah. 8 p.m. Wednesday is where it happened. She's in the hospital. That's just bad, mean, as we would say. By now you have heard, as this morning began, somewhere over the weekend, we lost 2 soldiers and an interpreter on foreign soil in Syria. Trump has said it is coming. Retaliation. We will fix this. Syria should be scared by now. It was supposedly one that took advantage of us soldiers. Brown University over the weekend. We had a rough weekend for senseless murders. Brown University, we have 2 people dead, 9 wounded. I know it was a 19-year-old girl has been identified as one of those. And as we go to the Bondi Beach massacre, we'll call it a massacre, 15 to 16 people are dead at this point. A father and son did this. Have you watched the video? Now, the guy that stopped them was a Christian, from what I understand. It was 2 Muslim men, if I'm understanding the story right, who went on the shooting spree. And I hate we don't have a panel of experts on this, but he did. He ran, he waits, he watches while a police officer, you hate to say it, didn't do much, and this guy jumps up, he grabs the guy from behind, takes him down, takes the gun away from him. It did end fine, but I always fear as I watch that video, most bad guys carry more than one weapon. And I guess fortunately this guy didn't. Have you seen that, Odie? Where he wrestles him and then he takes the gun away from him, he holds it on him a second, and the bad guy's standing over there with his hand still free. Had he had another weapon, because the guy, I think I would have handled that situation differently, because I would have thought that the bad guy had another weapon on him somewhere. Fortunately, that didn't happen to the good guy. He's being praised worldwide. It was. He showed bravery beyond. I mean, he barrel hugged that guy and took it from him. So he saved countless lives by doing that. The son's still alive, 24 years old, that was involved in this. Hate is a horrible thing. You can agree to disagree. I don't understand how people could take someone's life over something like this. I don't. The father who was taken out was from Pakistan, from what I'm understanding. Not a lot of people reporting on this morning. We'll be back with your weather forecast as we get this day underway. Bundle up before you head out. Get 2 or 3 jackets in case one didn't warm enough. 22 in Mississippi is cold, y'all. We'll be right back.
On a hot day chasing crime in Meridian, to make a man thirsty, there's no better way than an ice-cold Coca-Cola to quench your thirst.
Or an ice-cold Diet Coke if you prefer that flavor.
No matter where you're at, stop by a local store and support that store and Meridian Coca-Cola. They're supporting us every day.
The Scotty Ray Report studio is sponsored by Environment Masters, providing hassle-free heating and cooling, plumbing, and electrical services since 19. And welcome back. The coldest that I have found so far this morning is about 14 degrees. As we go to the state lines, we pull up Doc's Toyota radar. All along here, right across this Mississippi, Olive Branch is sitting at 16 this morning. As you come across anywhere over here, Theo, Mississippi at 14 degrees. That's the coolest that I've seen it so far. Yeah, that's holding steady there. Well, wait a minute, we found a 12. Early Grove, Mississippi, wherever that is. Salute, 12 degrees this morning. That don't even go with Mississippi, does it? So it's chilly for us there. We're showing a lot of 12s as you cross that state line into to Tennessee there. Be careful as you're out and about this morning. Let's get further into the forecast now.
Your forecast is brought to you by EMEPA.
Those record highs and lows, 1948, it was a high of 80 today. 1901, we could go back for a record low of 11 degrees. Whew. Burr, burr, and burr. Now, here's our outlook for today. It's not going to be much better than this. 45 today. Should be sunny is what we're calling for. 42 in Columbus. Somewhere around 43 there as we go through Louisville. As we get further north, we'll see 38 there around Tunica and 40 over near Iuka. As we go down, Natchez should see 47 and 48 on the Gulf Coast for a high. As we look at tonight's low, we'll see 24 tonight. Barely above where we are now is what they're calling for. It'll hold steady all the way to Columbus and still all the way to the state line about 24. As we get into Vicksburg for tonight, about 27. Lucedale, Salute, we'll see y'all at about 25 degrees. As we look at Bama for today, 44 in Demopolis, 43 in Birmingham. Clinton, Alabama should see 45, and we'll even see that at Auburn, Alabama. Here's the outlook. Warmer weather lies to our west, moving into West Texas. Almost made it to East Texas already, which means, well, by the end of the week, it's going to be warming up here as we pull this up. 70 degrees. We're at 22, and it's going to be 70. I can see almost every clinic in town needing a shot. Y'all be careful. Wash your hands as much as you can. And don't ride in the same car that's got a bad cough, right, Odie?
Cover your mouth.
Cover your mouth because you'll get it also. Again, today's high 45 down to 24 tonight. 36 tomorrow night. Warming up tomorrow to 56. By Wednesday, as they say, let it all hang out. 63, 70 by Thursday. And we'll see steady on that. A little dip there on Friday to about 57 as that rain moves through. But then back up to 67 on Saturday and 70 on Sunday. Now, as we go another week into this, as we look at Christmas Day, short sleeve weather, 70 degrees with a low of 53 that night, sunshine all day. Christmas Eve is perfect, 70 and 51. As we get past that and head toward the new year, we're going to hold steady in these 60s during the daytime, lows about 45 to 50 at nighttime toward New Year's. We carry you all the way to December the 29th there. Now, if you're wondering if there's going to be snow in Mississippi and Alabama and Louisiana for Christmas, we can tell you no. That comes from our desk. The weather desk says no. Let's look into what's happening with our forecast for fishing today as we head down to Parker's Wholesale. Perfect time to fish today begins at 6:38 and will end around 8:30 this morning. Not bad at all there. Your next time to fish will be this afternoon. You got about an hour's good chance there. 12:15 to about 2:15 there. Check it out. Somewhere in between there to be some good fishing. As we take a look at the hunting forecast brought to you by Wimberley, average day of hunting, weather's going to be northeast with a wind around 5 miles an hour, becoming calm by this afternoon. So afternoon hunts will be good. Perfect time to hunt this morning, 6:41 to 8:41, and then again from 1 until 2 p.m. this afternoon will be the hot spots to hunt today. Sunrise at 6:48. Sunset rolled in at 4:50 this afternoon. Let's go back to live radar and pull that up for you to see this morning as we look at this. Again, all we've got going on in the state of Mississippi right now, as you'll click on this, is this cold weather watch, and that's going to go until weather advisory until 9 a.m. this morning. All across the deep south, we've got it. Over in Lafayette, they've got a freeze warning. Look at all of that. Dothan has got the same there, but cool across the deep south this morning. Again, we got some fog as you get back over here into Mexico, but nothing really happening. New Mexico has a little bit. As we get up into Charleston, you get further north, Cleveland, Ohio, we got some snow flurries around Toledo. Pittsburgh got some snow flurries this morning as well. Detroit, just north of there, Saginaw, Michigan, getting a little snow this morning. We got rain out in Portland, Oregon, and then back into Seattle, Washington, if you're on that end of the United States today. Already 6:56, we're just moments away. We got our coffee brewing. Odie's got his red hat on. He's ready for today. I hope you are too. Join us, won't you? This all begins straight up 7 o'clock. We'll give you all the local headlines that are going on in our area. We'll see you soon. Here's the Scotty Ray Report.